All right, everybody. Here he is. I hope you know us. It's Rob and Taran from RHAP. How you doing, Joseph?
I know both of you very well, and I've been better, Rob.
Okay, now look, I know that you've been listening to the podcast, but were you paying attention, Joseph?
I don't know, Rob. Why do you say that?
Because you're talking to us.
Yeah. I would try to listen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Joseph, you seem to go in with the strategy of throwing competitions a
Mhm.
lot. Throughout the season, did you ever feel like there was a time to shift that strategy, or did you feel like that was like what you were dedicated to?
To be honest with you, the only one I blatantly threw was like the wall. The rest of them, I really didn't care that much whether or not I won them. And I was genuinely not that athletic, so I feel like even if I was trying my best, I wouldn't have been able to win them anyway. So
Okay, Joseph, one thing about you, you had a lot of confidence, okay?
yes,
You felt very good about where you were. Did you feel like the tides were shifting at all over the course of this week?
yeah, I knew that in the power rankings, I was like number seven. Like if we were doing it, number eight. Like
What do you
I,
think
I
you got in the stock watch this week?
oh, probably like a three.
Well, let me check.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I feel like I was in a good position for a while, and then it just kind of came crashing down. The comparisons to Dr. Will and Dan were prompted to me in the DR, so that was not of my own volition. They asked me who I was trying to model my game after. So, but yeah, a little hubris definitely did me in.
Mm, two this week.
Two, oh
Yeah.
god, yeah, not great,
It
not great.
wasn't looking great, Joseph.
Yeah.
Because obviously Chelsea and MJ, Chelsea had actually flipped MJ to her cause in sort of taking you out this week. She was really upset with a lot of the things that you were saying. MJ was as well about like you being able to win in the final two. MJ in particular took offense to you saying that like that she wasn't an end game threat. And
Yeah,
this is
not a
sort
good
of
idea.
yeah, this is sort of something that you had not necessarily been pointedly doing throughout the season, but you were often talking your own game up and talking about how you would have a really good chance to win in the final two. Can you talk to me about the strategy behind that?
In that same conversation I had with Mackenzie, she just said that she felt like people saw her as a threat. So I was trying to reassure her by being like, I do think that you could also beat me in the end, but we should work with each other because I feel like we would both have a good chance. You know what I mean? So that's what I was trying to do there, just reassure her that, like, hey, I don't see you as a bigger threat as anyone else. I want to work with you more than anything.
Joseph, one of the really interesting things that developed in the house was sort of this unique relationship that was going on between you and Leah and Quinn. Could you just talk a little bit from your perspective of that, how you felt like the love triangle was going?
I wouldn't say it was a love triangle by any means. I feel like it was we both had a crush on Leah, and she didn't on either of us, and that was about it.
Yeah. He did call her sick nasty.
Yes.
He said the word sensational came to mind when he thought of her.
Mm.
Did you have any sort of monologues for her like Quinn did?
I don't know. You would know better than me.
Well, maybe you could, maybe you have one now. I'm not sure.
I mean, Leah's awesome. I mean, doesn't everybody have a crush on her? Like, yeah, she's great.
Yeah. Um, so can you talk a little bit about just your plans for the end game? Like, what were you hoping to have happen from this point? Had you stayed, what was going to be your master plan?
Really just like as far as like who I want to take to the end with me,
Yeah.
or yeah, I would have taken Leah to the end. I feel like I would have beaten her in most situations. And I was genuinely cool with going to the end with MJ. And honestly, had I won HOH, I would have nominated Angela and Quinn and ran back to Chelsea. So yeah.
Um, so when you made your final two with Tucker, there was a moment where you talked about like, oh, you know what, this is my guy. I want to go to the end with him. Now I know you talked about the fact that winning competitions is a very good jury management strategy. Um, But it seemed like what you were trying to do was plant seeds throughout the season of like, hey, you don't have to win competitions to win the
Yeah.
game. Like I
Mhm.
want to win. Like, hey, that who was that guy, Dr. Will? Like I think he won
Yeah, yeah.
without having won a lot of competitions.
Mhm.
Um, so was that kind of like the idea? Was that like you just kind of ride down and then hope that you could like talk your way into beating Tucker?
I think that you would know better than most people that he did a lot of things in the house that rubbed people the wrong way. And I think that from personal standpoint, I don't think that a lot of people would have voted for him because of some of the comments he made and sometimes the way he treated people. I actually don't think he would have had that good of a chance at the end. Maybe that's overconfidence on my part, but I feel like people liked me more than him in a lot of instances. And like I said, he did some things I feel like rubbed people the wrong way. And also, I felt like he would get sniped at some point. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have to do anything really.
So, can you talk a little bit about when Tucker ended up going out from the house last week and how that impacted your game?
Honestly, I didn't freak out that much about it. I felt like, yeah, obviously my final two's gone or whatever, but I felt like, I was trying to stay glass half full and just be like, I'll try to find a way out of this.
Yeah. You talked to people about your final two with Tucker afterwards, I think as sort of like an explanation for perhaps why you were doing certain things. Again, it didn't quite land with people. But what was the idea behind, because Leah really was not happy with you when you said that you would vote to keep him over
I
her.
know. Yeah.
Why tell her that?
I should have lied. Like that
Yeah.
was just foolish of me. Like in the moment, like I just should have lied and was like, you know what I mean? She just kind of caught me off guard. And then with telling people about the final two Tucker, I feel like if I was just being forthright about it, it would explain a lot of the things that happened. And I feel like lying about it would have been made it worse almost. And I always knew Chelsea knew. So to me, like it would have helped me with her to just like admit to it.
One of my favorite moments from the season was when you got sent to the Matrix and
Yeah.
you got the 24-hour solitary confinement. And it was such a funny moment on the show. From your experience, was that intense?
Um, it was honestly whatever. Like it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's I think it was a memorable experience. Was Matt really talking the whole time?
No, 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 no. They maybe played one or two every hour or so.
Yeah. All right. So, Joseph, I know you've been waiting for the chance to, tell your story and be interviewed. What do you want people to know about your experience?
That this game's a lot more stressful than I thought it was going to be. It was super anxiety inducing, like the whole time. I did not expect it to be as hard as it was. But I'm glad I got to do it. It was fun, and I laughed harder than I have it sometimes. I know I made a lot of mistakes that caused my downfall, but I also think I did some good things and some cool things along the way too. So it was fun overall.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you went in there and you went for it and you played your own game, and the season has been very fun. So you're part of a good one.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to seeing on the outside?
As far as like what, the show or what?
Yeah.
I want to see like the intros. I would love to watch the hide and go veto and see how that was. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we are very much looking forward to seeing your reaction to everything. Love the shirt, by the way.
Thank you. It's a good
Yeah.
shirt.
All right. And yeah, hope you're doing great. Your social media team has been killing it all season. So
Yes,
that's
been
that's been really great. And yeah, all the best outside the house, Joseph. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Take care.
See ya. Bye.